some of the reasons that you might want to get involved with being in a convention. You know, most of us are probably exposed to conventions and told we should go there. You know, I'm part of a couple groups, and one of the things that I've always talked about, people are always going, well, okay, why do you go to that convention? Or if you're like us, we've got a ton of different businesses. Like I have, you know, the podcasts and my art business and my trucking business, and I'm at conventions all the time, conventions, conferences, seminars. And so you may be wondering, how do you choose one? How do you go to one? What should you be doing when you're there? And how should you, set yourself up to go there? Because it is very important that you go to a convention. They're great ways to learn, they're great ways to network, and they're great ways to find out what's going on. So conventions are really a cool thing. So I would urge everybody to go to a convention if you've never been to one. But one of the things you might want to look at when you go to a convention is first of all, does it fit why you're going? Okay, so one of the things that you may want to, you may be going, okay, should I go to this convention? What do I do? We have an upcoming ISCA convention for the International Society of Caricature Artists. So that's the next convention I'm going to. So it moves around the country. And if you're going, okay, is it worth it for me to go? Should I go? I can tell you that there's nothing better than being in a live event. You actually, if you are part of any kind of association, getting there and actually meeting the people is going to bump your status, bump your expertise, bump your stuff up 110%. I remember when I joined ISCA, we all get into our little bubbles, which are really, it's really dangerous because you often think that you are the coolest in your neighborhood. It's like being a big fish in a small pond, you rule the roost and all this kind of stuff. But what you find out afterwards is that when you go to a convention, you realize that you're a very small fish in a very big pond. And that is actually good because you want to keep yourself improving. If you start to get to a point where you don't feel you have to improve anymore, that's a dangerous sign. And I've got artists here that do that. I've got artists around me in this area here. They don't go to conventions. They've been doing their work a long time and they think, hey, I don't have to go. And at the end of the day, they're missing out. They may think they're really good, but are they improving at the rate that they should be improving? And that's where a convention really comes in. So how do you decide where you go? How do you decide what convention you go to? First of all, choosing, a lot of it's based on your budget. Can you afford to go? I will tell you it's an investment. Okay, so if you spend $2,000 to go to a convention, you may or may not make that money back depending on where you are in your career. But I would urge you to go. So here's the way that I was always taught. I was taught this by some of my mentors, and this is one of the things that I always try to do, is if you're an artist, it actually doesn't matter what group you do, but if you're an artist, joining a local association and a national association, and then maybe even an international association, depending on how it works. So, for example, I'm in Burlington, Ontario here. I am part of the Oakville Arts Council. So I do more work in Oakville than I do in Burlington, and that's where I kind of started my career, was in Oakville. Because I lived on the border of Burlington, Oakville, so I kind of fell into the Oakville side of things. And when I did that, what I was trying to do was just get my name out in the local area. So I started with a local association. So whether it's I started with the Oakville Art Society. Through there, I found out about the Oakville Arts Council. Over the years, I find that I've kind of grown out of the Oakville Art Society. Just in the style that I'm doing, it's kind of not a fit. But I still do very well with the Oakville Arts Council. So I've moved into that. So that's my local association. I'm also part of the Canadian Association of Cartoonists, Association for Canadian Cartoonists, sorry. So that is my national association for cartoons. And then I'm part of ISCA, which is the International Society of Caricature Artists, and that is my international piece, or my international brand. So those are my three associations for my art business.